Hello, I'm Paul Seven Lewis and welcome to my Theatre Reviews. I thought I'd share with you a new magazine for musicals lovers called, plain and simply, Musicals. And there it is with its name embossed in gold. I have to tell you, I'm very impressed, not least with how good it looks. And here we have Marisha Wallace inviting us inside. And I do like the use of black type on white. It's a pleasure to look at. Musicals magazine starts with a ton of news and gossip. You might know quite a bit of it if you keep up with theatre news via other media, which I would say I do, but I still found things I didn't know. These pages are interspersed with what presumably will become regular features. Many are short interviews with musical stars dressed up in various ways. Let's have a look here. Countdown to opening night, which in this issue features Carrie Hope Fletcher talking about her new show, The Caucasian Chalk Circle. And countdown to closing night, where Sam Tutti bids farewell to Evan Hansen. And then there's Rising Star, in which Anushka Lucas, who wowed us in Oklahoma, tells us her history and her future. And there's Backstage With, which is another angle on the interview with musical star format. And in this case, the amazing Miriam Teak Lee talks about Anne Juliet, in which she is Juliet. If you're someone who's interested in the music of musicals, there are two very good features. Behind the Song, which on this occasion sees Joe Stilgo analysing Being Alive from Company. And Keeping Score, in which Jason Carr tells us what makes Fiddler on the Roof special. And here's one of his insights. He says, many of Fiddler's songs have a definite Semitic flavour, often using the characteristic scale with flattened second, sixth and seventh notes. The Daughter's Matchmaker is the least overtly Jewish song, a good old Broadway waltz that Richard Rodgers would have been proud of, which maybe signals that these girls will rebel against the strictures of tradition. On top of that, there's a report from Broadway, a new musical spotlight, this time on Jabberwocky, which certainly made me hope to see a production soon, and a feature that reminds us of older musicals that have slipped from view. Bring Back That Show. In this case, it seems that Elton John's Aida may be making a comeback. And finally, Venue Focus. A short piece on Theatre Royal Drury Lane, packed with fascinating facts. Did you know it's the only London theatre with 2 royal boxes? And that's all because of a family rivalry between George III and his son. And that's just the first 20 pages. Then come the big features. Leading off is an interview with cover star Marisha Wallace. I saw her performances in Hairspray and Oklahoma, where she lit up the stage in supporting roles. Now, I admit I missed her co-starring role in Dreamgirls. I'm still surprised she's the choice for the big interview, though. I mean, I'm not talking about her talent, which is undeniable, but her visibility, that extra attraction that being an A-lister brings. And I'm afraid I don't really agree with the magazine in saying that she is an A-lister. The interview is conducted by one of many heavyweight journalists who've contributed to this first issue. Edward Seckerson used to be chief classical music critic for The Independent. And it's a well-organised and well-written feature that offers many details about the life, career and ambitions of a musicals performer whose reputation grows with every show. Another journalistic heavyweight to contribute to this premiere issue is David Benedict, previously arts editor of The Observer and now a stalwart of The Stage newspaper. He's the authorised biographer of Stephen Sondheim, so who better to write an in-depth article about 3 of his finest works. His analysis of Company, Sweeney Todd and Assassins is knowledgeable and written in a lively style. On to the next feature, and another top theatre journalist, Matt Wolfe, currently theatre critic for the New York Times and former theatre critic at Variety. Here he writes about movie versions of stage musicals. He uses surprisingly long sentences for a journalist. I've known hardened criminals do shorter sentences, but his analysis of what's good about the films of West Side Story, Tick Tick Boom and Everybody's Talking About Jamie is extremely thought-provoking. And that's another point about this magazine. Articles in depth on subjects that would hardly ever be covered by national magazines and newspapers. And you'd have to be a real fanatic to find them. And it's a world better than reading an opinion in 280 characters on Twitter. this magazine offers a rare opportunity to gain insights and information on the world of musicals. Now, I don't like films of stage musicals anything like as much as Matt Wolfe, but I was very interested to read what he believes are in their favour. Even the theatre reviews which follow the features are twice, in some cases 4 times as long as you get in the so-called quality newspapers, and most of the shows were seen outside the West End, which means you may not even have read a review of them. Elsewhere, there's yet another feature on a subject you'd be lucky to see anywhere else, certainly not in this kind of detail, namely a survey by the magazine's editor, Sarah Kirkup, on the organisations and people that are encouraging new musical artists and work. And at the back end, another treat, record reviews. How often do newspapers and magazines cover cast recordings? Yet here there are about a dozen, plus a couple of other albums featuring musical stars. And just before you put down this satisfying read, there's the bonus of the legendary Elaine Page reminiscing on her favourite musical moments from her life. Oh, it could be the first thing you see if, like me, you flick through from the back. So, lots of positive things to say about Musicals magazine, which is out now. The next one's not due until April next year, after which it will appear every 2 months. And while the launch issue costs $9.99, it appears future issues will cost just under £7, less if you subscribe. So we'll see if they continue to pack in quite so much in the way of news, reviews and features. If you're a serious fan of the musical, like me, you may wonder how you ever did without it. I hope you found this review interesting and useful, and if you did, why not subscribe to my channel and you'll be the first to know about my future reviews. If you want to read what I have to say, please visit my website, Theatre.Reviews, or you can follow me on Twitter, Facebook and Instagram. Thank you for watching.